okay, well, I'm an artist first off, and I've been getting a lot of like downloads through my art. Like what I've noticed is like my art has like a foreshadowing effect. So like it's been like a lot of downloads regarding portals or like eyes or like what's the word? What else? It's been a couple of things or like just a couple of situations that I've been like putting together kind of like
So when you do performing your art, you channeling the what they call Shakti energy, divine feminine,
mm-hmm,
right? And you're gonna always get spirit messages in anything that's artistic.
mm-hmm.
So like I can actually look at pictures people write and see something entirely different than the rest of the world.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
I'll read it like a tarot card where other people look at it, oh, that's a beautiful scenery. I like how the ocean smashed against the rocks or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I'm reading it like a tarot card because it's a projection that came from the subconscious mind and it was guided by the energy of Shakti.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now when I'm looking at it, I'm reading the subconscious mind, Shakti, and it's translating what spirit is saying through this person is this.
Okay.
So each one of your pictures tell a different story.
Right. Recently, even what you were talking about, like, I don't know, because I know you live, what, like 30 minutes from me. And the other day, even like, I was in the
You in
car with my
Detroit.
friend, huh?
You in Detroit.
Metro Detroit, like the outside of Detroit
You
a
know where
little.
Pontiac at, right?
Uh-huh. My
Oh,
dad work
that's
out there. And even what they did to Pontiac was the way, mm, this whole everything is just crazy. But I was in the car with my friend the other day and we just driving or whatever and we hear this noise, like this weird, crazy, like extraterrestrial sounding noise, and we both just look up and we like, what? And then we kind of like later on that night, it was just like a lot of things in the sky that we were just noticing and stuff like that. And we both heard this like loud boom. And I remember when you were on live with Amani a while ago, and you kind of when you called me that day, and I was talking about how, or you were talking about how like you kept hearing a bunch of booms and
oh, that boom. Yeah, that
yeah. And the other day it happened
scared.
again, and I'm like, okay, so it's just all the synchronicities been coming up, and even what you were talking about like on the 7th. It was funny because I just started this piece today, this one right here, and it's not finished yet. But I was like, I'm gonna just finish it on the 7th, and then I tap into your live, and you were talking about what was going on the 7th and the 8th. And
Go
then,
back to that picture. Let me tell you what I see.
okay.
You see the blue?
Mm-hmm.
I got a video a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I said that it's gonna start on the West Coast. We're gonna see a sea of blue,
Mm-hmm.
and in the middle of the sea of blue, we're gonna be a river of red. It was gonna be crips on both sides, and the bees was gonna be bee walking up the middle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you painted the picture. That's the picture that because the blue water is the crips, the red river is the bloods.
Right.
And we gonna drown their ass in bloods up to the horse's bridle with this apocalyptic fuck the police recital.
Man. Man. Even that, it's just crazy how everything been coming about. And recently I've been trying to work on, it's just this like thing of like ego, and I've been trying to like, because the more I know, it's like, okay, I don't want to be like somebody who just,
Yeah,
like,
so they reporting booms in the comments from different parts of the country.
mm-hmm,
One person said Chicago, one said Oregon.
mm-hmm,
So we ain't the only ones hearing it.
right. Yeah, I had to write all this down. I was like, it is too many connections, too much connection with my art, and I was just like, let me tap into this live. let me just tap into this live, see if he'll put some of the pieces together. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, Cali gonna set it off when the time comes. The
Mm-hmm.
concert might have been the set off.
I really feel like it was, honestly.
You know, cause Bosco 100.
Mm-hmm.
He out there in Cali. He a OG out there. And right after the concert, he couldn't understand why they have a concert for Larry in LA. But
Mm-hmm.
the reason it was is because Jay Prince was in cahoots with all of the OGs in California to show the people that the concert can go off without a hitch when you
Mm-hmm.
respect the people from the land.
I feel like it didn't even get that much like recognition how I expected it to. Or like, I mean, it wasn't really getting too much.
It got more recognition than they willing to admit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it wasn't enough or it wasn't a lot of people posting about it or like talking about it too much at first until like it came out, and I feel like that's when.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I appreciate everything you know or everything that you do, everything that you know, everything that you're teaching. It takes courage. It takes a lot of courage, and people don't have the courage to be disliked. So,
Yeah, I don't care if they don't like me as long as they take this truth pill.
people be hating the messenger so much that they miss the message, and I stand on that. I always say that, and
Mm-hmm.
I respect what you do. So
Yeah, a lot
I
of
know you're
people
gonna keep
don't.
doing
They
it.
don't. A lot of people don't mind the message. They just hate that I'm the one bringing it.
Or they don't like the way you saying it. Like, just please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be politically correct. Fuck that.
Okay.
The politics ain't correct. So how
I
in the
was about
fuck
to say,
be
what's
politically
politically
correct?
correct?
You know, if you're gonna be politically correct, the politics got to be correct. When the politics ain't correct, I'm cussing like Big Mama. Fuck these motherfuckers. They can kiss my motherfucking ass from here to the bank and back. Because sooner or
Literally.
later, they going to feel the wrath of motherfucking mama all up and down their back, beating their ass out of here with Big Papa Kane.
Man, and it's crazy because my dad always talks about, these things, and it's so funny how things work. Like I hear it from you, or it will register from you, or register from somebody else. But my dad, I'm like, all right, shut up, like shut up.
Look,
But I really need to listen. That's what I'm talking about. My ego, like, because he really,
and that's
really
one
laying
of the
it out.
things they had us so intoxicated with the fear of death. We eternal beings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck. Kill me. That's the worst thing you can do. You can't do nothing no better than that.
Yeah,
That's the
that's what
best you
I'm
got.
saying.
Well, they didn't already did that.
Mm. It's
So
just putting so many other pieces together for me, but I have to go. So I really
yeah,
do appreciate it.
yeah. I'm gonna take another call before I cut out.
Okay.
All right. I might not get to everybody down here. Um, we're gonna go Red Lex 7. I think he was next in line.
Hey, what's good, Rob?
What's going on, God?
What's good? Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, okay, well, you know how people say, okay, whatever you did to help people out and stuff like that. Okay, well, you know,
Do you know you
I
part
spread,
Samoan?
I part what?
Samoan.
No, I mean, no, I'm not part Samoan, but like, I got the Indian and the French in me, and
No, you
the
you got some Samoan in you too. You got some
oh,
Polynesian island blood.
oh man, I didn't know that.
Check back
See,
three grandmamas ago. I don't know which side. It's looking like mother's side.
yeah,
But you got some Polynesian because you are heir from that blood. I can see it.
got you.
You need to get to doing some digging, buddy. But remember this: you might end up in Florida as a Blackfoot, a Crow, because every clan sent somebody to fight in the Seminole Wars
Okay.
all over.
Yeah.
So that so when you find your ancestry, if it's tied to the Southeast United States, you probably came from down there to fight in the Seminole Wars in the earlier life. You back for your shit.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, but I was saying, like how people say, what have you done to help people out? I mean, like, well, I try to help people become high vibrational and stuff like that to feel good about themselves and help them not be behind on this on this spiritual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's like, and then I do motivational music and stuff like that too. Like, is that a good thing? I mean, it's helping people wake up so far.
You always give words of encouragement when possible, but sometimes you're gonna have to tell somebody to kiss your ass, and don't be scared to do that too.
Yeah,
Right. But if you can, it's preferable to encourage and motivate and inform to using the harsh words that you hear me use a lot, because
yeah,
I'm in a position now where my tolerance is real low for those that come against our people reclaiming their shit. So I'm going
yeah.
to nut the fuck up so y'all don't have to. That's my job.
Okay.
My job is to act a goddamn fool to everybody get their shit.
Yeah,
So I'm going to cuss out every motherfucking politician, every motherfucking imposter, seahorse, rogue bitch, and all. I'm going to cuss them all out. Until we get our
yeah,
shit, I'm not going to shut the fuck up.
yeah.
And
That's
I'm not
how I
going to be
feel.
politically correct.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel. I feel the same way. I feel fuck the politics, fuck them, fuck the police, fuck all that. That's how I feel because I feel
That
like,
ain't got nothing to do with us. They tricked us. Police slave catchers.
yeah, well, yeah.
So they tricked the shit out of us.
That's what I say. I feel like I forget all of that. Forget all of that, man. Because I feel like we don't need no government. We don't need no president. We don't need none of that.
Man, we was doing this shit before they had a government.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know why we need that right now. It makes no sense to me. It's
Well, we
just,
need structure.
yeah,
You always have to have a structure because you got to have a way in order to help more people than people get left behind. Just so happen the structure we under is designed to drag 98% of the people behind,
yeah,
and 1% of the people ride on the back of the other 1%.
okay,
So it's not designed for a community. We want to go back to a system that was designed for a community. That's why we choose matriarchy, because ain't no big eyes and no little U's. When they tell you who the leader, everybody gonna say you gotta have to talk to go to Big Mama house and talk to whoever there with Big Mama, because that's the council,
yeah,
And so
yeah,
we know how to check in with the OGs when we go to new cities, because anything happen, they don't want our blood on their land. So they need
yeah,
to know there so they can tell their soldiers to stand down. These ain't imposters on the land. They are brothers from a distant city or state, from
okay,
across wherever. But they got us now thinking that this is gang banging. It's not gang banging. It's tribal respect across the land.
yeah,
If an elder goes somewhere, he send a scout. The scout alert the chief of the land that he's coming, right? He tests
yeah,
the scout, make sure the scout ain't feeding him no bullshit. Then he send the scout back, and the scout tell the chief you can check in when you get there.
yeah,
It's just how we did our shit to make sure everybody was safe wherever they went. Now you got whole carloads of families coming up missing because nobody checks in with the people of the land that's supposed to make sure they straight. We
yeah.
just supposed to go set up a resort on somebody's shit and don't expect nothing bad to happen to us without the people whose shit it is governing it.
No,
Right?
like,
So we going back to Big Mama, raise the matriarchy. They
yeah,
got Larry, Angel Bay, and Tukey gonna come answer for the condition of the land. They gonna tell y'all everything I said was right. We
yeah,
told y'all
cause
the truth. The imposters was
yeah,
them. He called them on their bullshit. He caught him in the act. The same niggas put a hit on Nipsey. The same niggas put a hit on
Exactly.
Tupac. The
Yeah.
same niggas put a hit on Biggie. The same niggas put a hit on Malcolm. The same niggas put the hit on Father God Alive, Puddin', Clarence 13 next at a 5% Nation. The same motherfuckers put a hit on Martin. The same motherfuckers put a hit on Mega Evers. The same motherfuckers did it theyself and blamed somebody else for Chief Littlehorn, Emmett Till. Right? These the same motherfuckers.
For real, man.
These the
They are.
same motherfuckers came over here dressing up in their Spanish regalia. Right?
Yeah.
Same motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So somebody got to tell y'all who they is. They look like us, but they ain't us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they
They
use our own people
motherfuckers.
against us.
Yep. So they ain't our people. They use our people against us, but
Oh,
they ain't our people.
well, yeah, they're not for us. Yeah, you're right.
Right. They're the same motherfuckers that killed Noble Drew Ali.
Yeah, they just, yeah, I don't know. Like, they just want to turn. They training our people. Some, well, not our people, but the people that aren't for us. They just turned them against us. So,
Yep. Yeah, they say Bob Marley had cancer because he kicked the soccer ball and busted his toe. Make that shit make sense, man. We don't just believe everything they tell us.
nah, they just trying to cover it up. They don't tell them what really killed them. They be covering all that up.
Hey, so Instagram just gave me a 2-minute countdown at a minute
All
and
right,
7 seconds.
all right,
So all the people I didn't get to in the video to come in for their comments, we'll be back at it again soon, probably tomorrow. So y'all probably get in then, or y'all can inbox me, and if I can answer your question there, I'll answer them.
all right.
Right. So it was good having you in here. Check your
Yeah.
blood.
All right, yeah, definitely, definitely need to. Yeah, it was nice talking to you too, Rod. You give me a lot of information, man.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Unity, guy.
Unity. Peace.
All right.
Yep. Kinfolk. Spanish conquistadors invaded the land. They came to steal the gold. They told you in their books in search of the city of Cordoba, the city of gold. They came over here with a reign of terror on our land. They swore war against us. They waged conjure wars against us and thought that we'd never wake up from the spell of Kingu, right? Well, we woke, motherfuckers. We on deck, and we got 35 seconds left in this, and the 3-5 flips to 5-5-5, and the 5-5-5 is a straight turnaround. Free Larry Hoover, free Chief.
It's like, how do you want to make sure that they don't have anything to worry about, anything to fear, anything to want for? And that's like the things that we need to focus on, either really individually, because if we all individually are prepared, then as a community, we all have.
I want certain stuff. I want my children to want for it to the point where they feel that they can work for it and they can earn what it is that they don't have that they want. And that's going to teach them 2 lessons. Ain't nobody better than you, but you ain't better than nobody else. And if you see something that you really want, it's going to require you to perform or to do certain efforts in order to attain that. If you just want a motherfucker to pass you something because of who you is, then you in the wrong house. You better take your ass down the street. And that house of entitlement, yeah, they trading titles on that motherfucker on a regular basis.
That's a good one. You got all the good stuff.
So, yeah. So, so I don't want my children to be suffering with poverty, but I also don't want stuff so easy where they don't have no grit, where they can't bounce back from shit. These the softest motherfuckers I ever could imagine to be on earth right now in this time. When we grew up, we used to get ass whoopings and whoop ass.
But you know, it's that tablet. It's that tablet. It's that phone. It's those video games that we, you know, guilty as charged, tell them to go play on so we can have a moment instead of engaging with them. They're not outside having life experience with each other and interactions with each other. So we have to start doing that again. Like with my sons, when they come over, they get annoyed with me, but we're going to play a board game. And I know it seems real simple and like I'm not really teaching them life, but it's just even those interactions that build character and kind of build resolve and strategy. Just, you know, something simple. It's
Look, when you sit them down to the board game next time,
mm-hmm.
explain this to them. Life got rules, and ain't nobody gonna teach them to you.
See, and that's the thing that I feel like.
Hold on. These board games is a game with a set of rules that can apply somewhere else in life later on if you learn the rules to this game. You practice it so that you understand how this game works. So when you see it play out in real life, you know how to win that game in real life. So you think we playing board games, but really I'm giving you tools to go in to the world and come out successful.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm teaching you how to play Monopoly, because it's always a motherfucker gonna try to monopolize on everything you do. So you need to be able to see the game before you ever learn how to play the game in business. So we teach you to play it in a board game,
Right.
right? And the more board games that you learn as a child, the more tools you have to navigate life with through the path of least resistance, meaning not getting beat to death by life.
Right. Even like with Connect Four, like just teaching them to slow down and look at what the play is going to be, trying to have like predictive, you know, thought process or programming in a sense. Like what is this person's strategy? That alone is a tool for life.
Yeah. See, like I like to tell my son about stories about people like Attila the Hun and Genghis Khan. They saying once upon a time it was this guy named Attila, you know, and I'll go into like leadership strategies of Attila the Hun to share with him little things that can be given to him in story format at an early age that will sink into um, his mind to the point where it'll become part of his original program.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's a natural born strategist because he already know about Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, Hannibal, Muhammad Ahmed, you know what I'm saying, Shaka Zulu. He know about the great strategists of history at an early age because dad gave them to him as little stories to tell him while we was on our drive to go fishing.
Right. And he's gonna remember all of that information too. Like, we have to get back to storytelling, like, and really also like we have to get back to listening to the elders when they speak and not really, you know, and not ignoring them or not being like, oh, you know, I don't really rock with that elder because they look this way or that way. Like when
Right. Well, they weaponized the age. They created ageism
that too.
to make the youth think that the older people, oh, that old motherfucker don't know nothing. And the youth, and now the old people feel about the youth, somebody need to go do something with them little wild ass motherfuckers. The disconnect come in because when, like I said the other day, I was telling the story about at Big Mama house. You know, she got uncles that still stay there, old as hell. Probably left, got married, divorced, came back home to Big Mama house, right? But when it's time for the family to pass out the food, they have a harvest festival, which turns out to be a family reunion.
Hmm.
All of the women that's part of the cooking committee, they go straight to the kitchen.
Mm.
All of the ones that's in charge with setting up the table and shit, they go straight to the dining room. Don't nobody got to tell them when they get out the car, they ain't seen each other in 5 years. They know exactly where to go.
Right.
Right? Because they done been to Big Mama house. They know how shit run. Right? If you don't know what to do, go ask your Aunt Ruby. She gonna send you down there to your Uncle Cleve, and he gonna take y'all where they cleaning the fish at and show y'all how to make sure y'all know how to clean some fish when y'all come back to Big Mama house next year. Right? So they use the family members to teach the history of the family around family functions. This is why they don't want us gathering. They don't want our families having family reunions. They discourage it because as soon as we figure out enough of us in one family, we ain't came on no goddamn boat. One of these niggas gonna say, hey, y'all contract is up. The date was this. We came back for every fucking thing you son of a bitches took, plus motherfucking interest and tax, and you have to go now.
Mm.
And that's exactly what happened. Because since we didn't have a family reunion, I had to go live with different family members in order to get that part of the family's piece to the puzzle to put the family back together.
Mm.
So I went to stay with members of both sides of the family, my mama's side and my daddy's side. They all, I'm the most loved, most respected, or the most despised and most rejected.
Mm.
So since I'm the most loved and respected out of all of the motherfucking despised and rejected, that make me be the black sheep out of all of the black sheep that the black sheep love the most. And that's how you get to be a chief on the land.
But that's the other thing is like, because, okay, so how can I put this in words? We have to have enough humility to be able to see our elders and respect them as such, because
Yeah.
people are appointed for a reason in the season, and we have to. You have to respect that. You have to respect your position and play your position. And everybody's not a chief. Some of us are Indians, and you got to be okay with that. And you got to knock that
Yeah.
jealousy out the window. And, for anybody who doesn't have that big mama or that family to go to, then you got to start looking for those role models and elders to have that family reunion with.
Yeah. And, a lot of us hold on to childhood grudges that if you was an adult, you would have made a similar decision yourself,
Mm-hmm.
all things being considered. But people hold on to the childhood grudges.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, like, I don't blame a molested child for never forgiving their molester.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna never tell them to do that. But for the kid that got the ass whooped for being a little badass kid, you probably didn't get enough ass whooping. That's probably why you ended up where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no motherfucking sympathy for that shit. It's part of life.
But that's where accountability comes in, because you have to be able to say where you did wrong and where you did right, where you fell short and where you succeeded or exceeded. But you have to
Right,
have
and
that.
that's the part of shadow work that everybody fear. Because when they realize that they ain't no better than you, then they trying to put you down, that means that they really was putting themselves down the whole time.
Right. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I was like, giving the analogy of Moesha, like in doing that healing work, when we talk about the flipping, that healing work is important because all of that muck, it fucks with your decision making skills.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do the shadow work. You can't run from it.
Yeah.
Because really, you're
But
running from the light when you run from the shadow work.
don't nobody want to say, look, we drive up to the stop sign at the same time. Motherfucker scream out the window, stupid motherfucker. Right? We both just pulled up to the fucking stop sign. and we both stop. Who is really the stupid motherfucker? Why do I even need to respond at that point? He just proved that he was the one who was really the stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
He was mad because he wanted to run the stop sign, but when he seen me stopping at the stop sign, he knew he couldn't run it because it's a possibility I might run it.
Mm-hmm.
So now he got to stop. And since we both stopping, it's my fault that he had to stop when he wanted to run the stop sign. So his natural presumption is that I'm the stupid motherfucker, when he's the stupid motherfucker for being mad because he had to stop at a stop sign.
Right.
You knew it was a stop sign there before you got there,
He forgot the
motherfucker.
rules of the engagement. He wanted to ignore them. You can't ignore the rules. In nature, when you ignore the rules, there's two things, life or death. In nature, when an animal ignores the rule of the kingdom, it's a consequence. Animals in nature I love so much because they live
Hey,
life
look,
in the natural way that life is supposed to be lived.
I'm about to say some racist ass shit.
No.
This the truest shit a motherfucker could say. All you gotta do is watch these white people. He's just a little cute grizzly bear, only 400 pounds. Let me hug him. He's wild. He's never seen humans before. I know I can hug this motherfucker. Nigga, you gonna go sit your ass down somewhere?
Look.
What's that, 10 swords?
Yeah, the bear is gonna kill your ass. No.
Hell yeah. Hey, look, that's a confirmation like a
That's
motherfucker.
funny. Spirit is funny. Spirit is funny. Spirit got jokes. And that's why I think sometimes we lose compassion, because Spirit got a sense of humor. And that's why we laugh at a lot of things that are painful. But we gotta reel that in, because like maybe I don't know where that started, but that lack of compassion, man, it creates so much other shit, because you laugh at somebody going through some pain and now they giving you the evil eye.
Mm-hmm. But the lack of compassion was taught to us.
Right.
It took harsh circumstances with no relief in order to make us not care what your struggle was. That means that they had to stop us from helping each other overcome the struggle to build a barrier between us.
Right.
You seen me struggling, trying to change the flat tire, and you kept going.
Right.
Right? You know what you saw. You know what you felt by keep going, and you ignored all that shit in order to not offer aid and assistance. Right? So when you see me again and you changing your flat, I remember when you drove past me.
Right. But see, the fucked up part, like you said earlier, is like when you found out that the people who did us dirty look just like us. It's like we're all mad at each other, thinking that it was each other, and really it was them. Like
The
you
whole
said, the
time.
separation, the whole
Yeah.
time, and they are banking on the fact that we'll have that prejudice and separation in our minds so deep that we'll knock each other off. Then it can release the robots.
So when you review history, look at the public display, right? When you look at the images from parades of the UNIA and the activities of the MSTA in 1920s, you see all our faces. We all hanging out of windows and shit. We knew who we was, but we didn't know what to do about it. Right? Now, when you get in the 50s and we start talking Rosa Parks, refusing to get up on the bus, marching with King, you see a sea of pale faces right in there with brown faces. When you go back and research all of the uprisings, you see that all of the ones that look like us, Gabriel Prosser, Denmark Vesey, etc., was egged on by a pale-skinned European to get their freedom back. And one of them, I think it was Gabriel Prosser, had the quartermaster general who had access to the armory, bringing him the key to the armory to arm the people to fight against the rebellion. I mean, against the invader. Then some nigga told the enemy, told on the pale face, and told on Gabriel Prosser. It's in the books. It's not a secret.
A sellout.
Yeah. Every single one of those attempts where that we were being egged to get out of this condition by pale faces, we was betrayed by melanated, woolly-haired faces. All of the ones on record. The only one that wasn't betrayed immediately was Tucson. When they murdered him, that's when they infiltrated.
That was a stronghold.
Right. And now they don't want to close the conjure because that means that they lose all power. They got to close the Haitian conjure, and Haiti keep getting hit with shit because they got an open war conjure that's over 200 years old. At the close of the age, that shit has to be closed out.
Okay.
But there's some motherfuckers that look like us that's trying to stop everything. They can't stop nothing, though. You know they is. It ain't no secret no more. The secret that they had ain't no secret no more. Now they exposed to the public. Now they got to get exposed publicly. Fuck them. I don't got no sympathy for them.
But why did they do it?
Because they wanted to claim Earth for their own. They ain't from here.
So
they were a different species similar to us.
No, so I know that.
From a different type of universe.
Okay, so I know that. So then when they came here, they had to take the form of like
the highest evolutionary organism on the planet,
yes.
which was the melanated.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. And we were peaceable people, just like in the Bible when they talk about, what was it? Was it Babylon? No.
We was,
before
we still warriors, right? But we had ran out of wars to fight.
Right.
Because we had got so intelligent that war was like asinine, foolish, and childish.
We had come to that
That's how it evolved.
Right.
Right.
Consciousness.
So the golden age has to bring this back to the surface so that we know the level of potential our mind have in order to move into a golden age again. Because that's where we're going. And the sun cycle brings the golden age. In the Jubilee year, 2022 is the Jubilee year. It's the final closing out of all of the contracts that held people hostages and enslaved. By the close of the year, there will be no more contracts that's open. They'll all be closed. And the only thing we're going to have to work on is getting Haiti to close that war contract.
Okay. So I had a dream a long time ago, and it was of Oya. And so I know that they're a dying breed, but it's just like the reason why I pitch community and unity so hard is because, like you said, they separated us and they lied to us so we could fight off each other and kill off each other. But you know, that artificial intelligence and like that, you know, everybody is so big on having the newest Tesla and all of these things. Like, I hate to sound so old school, but I just feel like um, they are, that's their last hoorah.
Okay, so what they did, this is what make it difficult for us to face the short struggle we gonna go through. We gonna get this struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna get this work.
Mm-hmm. Because it has to be
Yeah,
in
ain't no
plans anyway. So it's like,
the level of your preparedness gonna determine how much of this work your ass gonna get.
yes, sir.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So when the system shut down, don't say we didn't tell you. Don't say you didn't have a chance to prepare, because I've been telling motherfuckers for 3 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I laid down the structure of the fall so that motherfuckers don't step into the road and a building drop on his head. Right? This shit is over with. But in the process of it, you still got to clean up the old shit before you break out the new shit.
Right.
Because you need to know what part of the old shit has to go and what parts you can use even if it's temporarily. Because you got to use anything that's useful.
Right.
And anything that's not useful, you discard that shit. This is why we say no more GMOs in the food.
And
Right?
mm-hmm.
So they burning down the factories that making the GMO food. One of Gates' motherfucking manufacturing facilities just burned up overseas yesterday. You know, so we not watching those little events like that, like Rome on fire, you know, the time, the date, what's going on in the world politically, what's going on across the land socially, right? If you don't pay attention to that stuff, you can't see it. But if you see it, the people that's not paying attention is going to say that you don't see what you're telling them because they can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the glasses on.
Yeah. You know,
And somebody said, don't forget to read that card. That you must have
there
pulled.
wasn't,
You
there
pulled a
was no,
card.
yeah, I have been, you know, just when, like I was talking, stuff was coming out, confirming, but he hasn't asked a question, y'all. But I hope y'all listening to what he's saying, because that's the thing. It's like, you know, the road is narrow, and the reason why they say that is because y'all attention span, even my attention span, I'll come home knowing I need to do some shit and stay on Instagram. Like, how prepared are you? How prepared are you? Because, and how right are you with spirit? How light is your heart? Because there's a time and a place for everything. And don't think that you know what really fucks with me is when people think they're supposed to be covered by grace when they doing all kind of wrong shit.
Well, you know, that's just narcissism at its finest.
But that's that
I can
inaccountability.
fuck over. Look, I'm fucking over everybody I come across talking about unprotected.
Right. And then get mad when you get stabbed or, you know what I'm saying, you trip and break your arm. What? God didn't have me. No, you didn't have God.
Flat out. Flat out. So we need to go back to where we didn't have nursing homes. If one of the aunties couldn't take care of herself, she'd go out to Big Mama house.
Yes.
And then the teenage girls that was learning health care would be they CNAs that take care of them because they family, they ain't going to mistreat them.
Yeah, they'll be over there. And then you soaking up all of that game.
Yeah.
Like you getting all of that, all of those lessons. You know, when elders, like, you think they repeating themselves or they just running off at the mouth. That's spirit speaking to you. That's a lesson.
Yeah.
That's lessons. You know, the best way to learn something is through somebody else's experience, so you don't have to go through the hardship. So when you hear people,
that's called the way of the wise.
so when you hear people sharing their personal story, instead of making fun of them and talking shit, actually listen to the lesson. And a lot of y'all laugh or make fun of people when they being vulnerable and really missing the blessing is coming to save your ass. I need to be more compassionate. I'm not being compassionate because the reason why I'm talking like that, I'm talking to myself.
Look, you care. Look, that's segment.
Yeah, I'm talking. You know.
Segment ain't gonna look. Segment got look. Y'all gotta straighten the fuck up. That's what segment tell them.
You know.
I don't got time to be trying to burp you and give you a pacifier. Get your motherfucking ass off your motherfucking pity party horse. Get your ass in the fight. You part of this shit, whether you want to be or not. So you might as well pick up your motherfucking banner and march with the motherfuckers that's gonna be victorious because they on the move. That's what segment gonna tell them.
Get it together, like 702 said. We have to get it together. And you know, the one thing that irks my nerves is when we claim royalty. It's in our DNA. We got magic, and ain't nothing magical about none of the shit that you do.
Yeah, no, nothing magical and nothing regal.
Nothing.
Got no etiquette whatsoever.
No code, no respect, nothing.
Yeah.
But what you said was so true. If you are able to connect with your family, if you still have elders that are living, because this was an attack like on the elders, just really on all of us, but really attack on our elders, because when history is lost, the younger generation is lost. And a lot of my generation is still trying to live their younger days. So that grandma and grandpa shit is kind of far-fetched or hard to find because they trying to relive their youth. So we have to take our position as elders and really settle down in our lives and in our hearts and in our minds. And we have to open up to the lessons that we share with each other. And we got to connect with our family again if you can. If you can make it wrongs right, if you can make amends, do it. If you can't, pray about it. Ask for forgiveness. Ask to be led to figure out how to change and how to elevate and how to be the best you possible.
The secrets of prayer, since we on Oracle Connections, is the first understanding is that you're talking to your higher consciousness, and your higher consciousness is your direct telephone line to Prime Source Creator. You can't send your higher self to get an answer and Source don't give it to him. The problem is when you get done with the prayer, that's when you have to, as they say in the church, let go and let God.
Right.
Right? You got to let your higher self in the universe work out the problems that's too complicated for you to work out, but you work out the ones within your control.
Yeah.
So you make the microcosm flips the macrocosm. If you control the ones you can, the ones you can't, the universe control for you.
You are giving big gems. That's a big
right. And don't close your prayer by saying Amen, because that's telling the force of the God to keep it a secret. And if you keep it a secret, then it's kept sacred. That means you can't access it in the mundane.
What's the meaning of Amen? Because I say Amen or Ashe.
It comes from Amen or Amun, and it means the unknown aspect of God, but it's an alchemically charged name. And it has a direct energetic effect on whatever it is that you're sealing with Amen. That means that you saying the prayer, but you blocking it at the end. You're keeping it a secret.
Like God got
and because it's sacred,
on the phone or something.
Right. So because it's kept sacred, you can't manifest it in a mundane. Because the mundane is the profane. The sacred cannot be accessed in the profane. So when you tell your higher self to Amen, keep it a secret, that means keep it sacred. That means save it for my next life because I ain't going to access it this one. You actually putting yourself in a personal conjure, but you don't know it.
So in let's say in relevance to people who say it without that knowledge that you just gave, then
right. So they got accumulated,
right?
Yeah. So they got accumulated energy built up in what you the lack of a better way of putting it, I'll say prayer credit.
Mm.
All you did was recorded all your shit in the universal mind, because you did nothing in order to make it surface in the physical world. Right? Now, some people know how to use the energy by doing certain stuff in the physical world that activates the prayer energy that was kept sacred.
Right. Because the power
Right?
of intention sometimes can,
Right. Right. So this is what those prayer groups, what we call prayer warriors in the church,
mm-hmm.
they used to be the ones who held the secret to making the prayer manifest in short order by using the 369 science of the sisters.
Mm-hmm.
That all of that got to be retaught to y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, prayer was sacred. Prayer was
Yeah.
you.
But
Yeah.
prayer is the talking to the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation is listening.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't meditate, you won't never get your answer.
Mm-hmm. That's why sometimes you need to stop having all them distractions. Sometimes you got to shut that music off, because we're people that love like music. We're people who love distractions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
Yeah, but we can also learn how to use those things as facilitators.
Oh, for sure.
But we have to be also willful minded that that's what we're using it for.
Yes.
If we don't attach that to it, we can't use it for that purpose.
Yes, correct. I like.
Right. So people be saying, "What's the meaning of life?" Right? We hear it all the time. Ain't got none till you give it one.
Mm-hmm.
Life has no meaning until you give it a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Has no value until you value it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have no value for life, then your life has no value to yourself. You know, you are running what you call an errant course,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the best thing to do is to always keep in mind to follow the golden rule. If you don't want nobody to mistreat you, don't mistreat nobody. Each one teach one. We all gonna reach some.
Love thy neighbor like you thy love thyself.
Yeah. Don't love your enemy though.
No.
But you better damn well respect that motherfucker, or he gonna run roughshod over you.
Yeah.
That's what it should have said. Respect your enemy, not love that motherfucker.
Respect it enough to keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, because once you respect them, that means that you got enough understanding to know the danger that it is to fuck with this particular enemy, and for you to overcome that enemy, it requires you to have a certain level of insight that supersedes what they're capable of doing to overthrow you.
Mm-hmm.
But by you being respectful of their position and their power, now you put yourself into the position like Aikido to deflect it and use their energy against them, as opposed to allowing them to use it to subjugate you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In this particular case, the sister's taking a ball and going home, gonna shut this bitch down, but it's gonna happen in waves.
Mm-hmm.
It's already started, so it's just a matter of when.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
All right, I'm about to wrap this one up. I'm getting tired now. I'm ready to lay my butt down.
Yes. Well, have a great rest. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
You taught me so much. You're always sharing so much. So I thank God for continuously protecting you and blessing you and giving you provision and all of the good things. So until we speak again.
I think you're trying to make me blush.
No, I'm giving homage and paying respect. All right.
Yeah, that's gonna make me blush.
Oh, you are red Indian. You got red tone. All right.
Yeah, I'm ready red for real.
Right.
Yeah. All right, sweetie. I'm gonna talk back to y'all later. I'm about to exit out of this one.
Okay.
So just wanted to cash some receipts, go over a little understanding of tuning in the tarot or the oracle read in order to fine tune that shit. Now I'm getting a little exhausted because Big Mama had me doing physical labor, which I'll be doing some more tomorrow. But it got to be done in order to get where we're trying to go. So it is what it is, but it was what it was, and now it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So peace out, everybody. Unity, fam.
Right there. See it?
Okay, let's start there. Let's start there.
All right.
Yeah, scope application, section 1. The American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People applies to the indigenous people of the Americas. That's us. Right there. Right? What number 2 say? Self-identification as indigenous people will be a fundamental criteria for determining to whom this declaration applies. States shall respect the right to such self-identification as indigenous, whether individually or collectively, in keeping with the practices and institutions of each indigenous people. That part right there is telling you that you have to self-identify. See, the first thing it says, self-identification. That means that you identify yourself as an indigenous people and that you are the one responsible for stating your status, right? And the states shall respect the right to such self-identification as indigenous, whether it's an individual or a group, individually or collectively, in keeping with the practices and institutions of each indigenous people. That means that some tribes are slightly different in cultural expression of the same culture. One tribe might barbecue turkey for the chief, but another one might slaughter a bison. Right? But whichever one it is, we know what the culture is saying. All right. Article 2 says states recognize and respect the multicultural and multilingual character of indigenous peoples who are an integral part of their societies. Right? When they say multicultural, that means it's a whole lot of different cultures from the land. And then it say multilingual character. That means that we got a lot of languages. So they can't say that, well, you don't speak this language, you ain't indigenous. They can't say that because they right here acknowledging that. And they saying that we are an integral part of the society. Well, these things are an integral part of our societies, right? So then we go into Article 3. Indigenous people have the right to self-determination. What that means? Your rights is not negotiable. They are inalienable. So self-determination is you got the right to determine which one of the chiefs you following, if you following the one in your direct bloodline descent, or if you following the one from your tribal clan descent. Right? So it's different per tribe across the land because they already told you we got a multi-cultures on our land already before they came. Right? And by virtue of that right to self-determination, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. That means that they can't interrupt us economically, our social behaviors of our tribal affiliations. They can no longer persecute us for wearing feathers in public, right? And cultural development, that means going back to our original traditions and customs, because we have to go back to our shit to overthrow their shit. All right. Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, people, group, or persons any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act contrary to the character of the Organization of American States or of the Charter of the United Nations, or construed as authorizing or encouraging any action which would dismember or impair, totally or in part, the territorial integrity and political unity of sovereign and independent states. What that mean?
Yeah.
That means that Article 4 of this declaration says that the United Nations can't interfere in our business, nor any other individual states that's under the Charter, Organization of American States, or the Charter of the United Nations. So the United Nations is also in an agreement with America, right, which gave them control of the policing policies on the land. That's why they closed now. Right? All right, let's go on to the next part. Do this look like we getting to something?
That shit get lit, man.
All right, human rights and collective rights, right? Full effect and observance of human rights. Remember what Malcolm said? We don't need civil rights.
Yeah, right.
He said we need human rights, right? This it right here. Indigenous people and individuals have the right to the full enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms as recognized in the Charter of the United Nations, the Charter of the Organization of American States, and international human rights laws. That means this taking all of those people they just named in there, that they saying they can't interfere in our fundamental freedoms and our basic human rights any longer. Now remember, they was an occupied government masquerading as a de facto government when they were, as a de jure government when they were in fact operating under the color of law in a de facto capacity and giving us the illusion that they had the authority. But all corporations derive their authority, all corporate political bodies, from the people that they govern.